Hey, good evening. It's Saturday, September 2nd, and welcome to Everyday Talk 24/7. It's really great to be with you this week. Thank you for being here. As you know, the last couple of nights we've been looking at this idea of how do we respond in a way that brings honor to God. What's the motivation behind why we do what we do, the good that we do? And we started looking at this passage in Ephesians, which says, chapter 4, verse 31, get rid of all bitterness, rage, anger, brawling, slander, every form of malice. And instead of that, be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other just as in Christ God forgave you. I want to focus just on one thing tonight to hopefully drive this point home for us and for me. Kindness. Why should we be kind? And it may sound like, well, I should be kind because that's the Christian thing to do, or because someone's been nice to me, or I just want to be seen as a kind person. There may be elements of those things that are helpful, but that's not the reason why we want to be kind. Let's examine briefly what we looked at last night. Reasons that we shouldn't focus on being kind. Why we shouldn't. The wrong motivation for being kind. One is, if I'm not kind, God's going to punish me. I'm going to go to hell. I've got to be kind or I can't be a good person. See, that's all upside down. I can't appease God in that way. I'm not living in fear. Fear and love are opposite. So that doesn't work. I can't be kind to win the approval of people. Well, if I'm nice, if I'm kind to someone, people look at me and say, well, Jay's a nice guy. He's kind. So I wind up doing it to bring honor and serve myself. But I won't know when I should really be doing something different to people. All I want to do is win their approval. So that's all I live for. Or, third level, I want to be kind so I can win the approval of God. That's not much different than living in fear and trying to do something to get God's favor so He won't punish me. All the approval that I have in God has already been established by Christ. He's the one that says I'm worthy, not my good acts or deeds. So I don't want to be kind for those kind of reasons. I don't want to be kind because somebody was kind to me. I mean, that might be an appropriate response, but that's not the motivation behind it. Because then I become just like the people that don't love God. Even those people could do that. They were nice to me, I'm nice to them. I don't want to be kind simply so I can expect something in the future. I'll be nice to you, variation on the same theme. I'll be nice to you, and someday you'll be nice to me. All that is self-serving. So now let's look particularly in chapter 5, verses 1 and 2 to answer this question. Why should I be kind? Why should you be kind? To sum up what has just been said, Paul says, be imitators of God, therefore, as dearly loved children, and live a life of love, just as Christ loved us and gave Himself up for us as a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God. I'm kind because God has been kind to me. I'm kind because God has just poured out His mercy in my life. And Jesus sacrificed. See, with people that doesn't work. With God, it makes everything work. I'm kind because I want to represent God well. Because God has been kind and gracious to me. I want to be kind and do something for someone, not because they earned it. See, that's part of the problem. We get into this idea, we start keeping score. Well, that person doesn't deserve kindness. Really? And you and I do? See the problem there. Kindness is not something that is given on a reciprocal scale. Kindness is given because this is what represents God well. Sometimes we are kind when people are not nice to us. Other times we have to be cautious and guarded. That's true. But there's times to respond in kindness so we can do what Paul says in Romans, return good for evil. Because we're not interested in serving ourselves, we're interested in bringing honor to God. So why should you and I be kind? Well, right here. We want to live a life of love, just as Christ loved us. We are dearly loved children. I want to extend kindness, not because somebody earns it, not because I think they're going to think better of me. I want to extend kindness the way kindness has been extended to me. Not because I earned it, but because God, in His gracious, loving, compassionate heart, has extended kindness to me. I want to radiate that to others. There's a balance, of course. I'm not ignoring that. There's times when we have to be firm. There's times when we have to withhold something. But in general, when I'm looking at being kind, I'm doing it because I want to represent the kindness that's been given to me in Christ. And that's a beautiful thing. That's what keeps us centered. That's what keeps us from worrying about everybody else's opinion and keeping score. I always have the opportunity to bring honor to God by being kind. That comes here too. By being kind and reflecting and showing and radiating the kindness that's been given to me. And that's our thought. Again, I love your feedback, your comments. So much of us in our lives, in the Christian life, is because we're trying to figure out to honor God the way the world does. I honor God very simply because I have been loved. I want to live a life of love that brings honor to God. Lord bless you this night. You have a good Lord's Day tomorrow. And Lord willing, we'll see you on Monday. Good night. Here, Echo. You say good night too? Say good night. Okay, there we go. Thank you for watching. May God richly bless you as you seek to live for His glory.